show out formally. So you're in, where are you at? Germany?
Belgium.
Belgium. God, you're the second one.
Yeah, one of the smallest countries in the world.
Is it really? That's right. It is small.
No, there are a few smaller than Belgium, but
Let's see. Go ahead. Go ahead.
but not much. But the most peaceful country.
Yeah, I've got a few friends over there. Now there was a lady or somebody was from Belgium, just Kuan Yin. I don't know if she was Belgium. I thought she was in the Netherlands. That's South Africa. It just happened like just recently.
Yeah.
Let me just see. Yeah, I think it was Kuan Yin. Yeah, my friend Timmy lives there. My friend Roya. Yeah, it must be a progressive thinking place.
Yeah, but there are not so many as in your country. Well, in which you're in Texas, I believe. I've heard.
Yes. Right now I'm in Texas. Yeah. Yeah, I'm here for another month or two. Yeah, so we got 15 people in the house. I think we can get started. We've got Kim Vanderheyden in the house.
Yeah, that's me.
That's right.
I did not know if I had to fill that in. Was that necessary?
Do you want your name off of there? You can take it off.
No, it's no problem. I don't care. But I did. It's the first time I use such a software, so it's all very new for me. Not computers, but this kind of software is very new for me.
Okay. Yeah, so you messaged me. We've been getting some really good shows off of people that are messaging that are not really out there, that are not on social media, which is really kind of cool to me because it tells me that we've reached people that we didn't know we had reached.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I want to thank you for reaching out and stepping up to be seen. I've mentioned this show on about 3 of the shows, and I think this is going to be a really, really good show. But yeah, you know how long have you been watching Soul Speaks 5D?
I think a couple of years now. I stumbled on you on YouTube, but I was already a long time searching for content like this. But there are a lot of other channels who have an agenda, a Christian influence or otherwise, and this is the one I like because you are open to every direction, and that's an attitude I like myself too.
Yeah, me too. It used to be a very secluded place, wasn't it?
Yeah. I started very early on in my life. I don't know if you with searching. I don't know if you have ever heard from Jane Roberts.
Yes, I remember her.
The set material.
Yes, yeah.
And
that was like from the 70s.
Yeah, and I started then reading her books, and then it became by her very important dreams in her work. Dreams are very important, and that's when I started dream journal, and I do that now for more than 40 years, and it has been very interesting journey, I can say.
40 years.
Yeah, a dream journal of 40 years. Yeah.
So would you say that because I've never met anyone that's kept a journal for 40 years on their dreams. I've met people that utilize their dreams to help, get messages or whatever. I would imagine you got a pretty good feeling
Yeah,
after
yeah.
40 years. Do you get a lot of information when you're dreaming?
Yeah. And usually, if I think of something to which I want an answer, I just have to go back in my dreams, and I already dreamt of the answer that I'm asking today or something. That happens very often.
Do you feel like that when we go into dreams, lucid dreams, is it? I know there's no time, but
Yeah.
relative to our situation, does it feel like they're in the future like that? Is it, or can you
Well,
or
uh, depends on what your focus is. My focus is more on the future
okay,
in life, and so in my dreams too. There is nothing I can say after 40 years. There is nothing significant that happens in my life that I not first dreamed of.
wow,
Always, and himself is very clear about it. He says, in the dream you choose the reality you want. In life you just experience that choice that you made in your dream. And
okay,
I have pretty good evidence of that. Some very, very powerful, I can say.
I bet.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, Again, I don't know anyone that's this is really cool. I mean, really cool. But I have had my own dreams, and I thought I was a pretty good lucid dreamer, and remembered, and got some stuff from it. But I can't even imagine. But I've heard other people say this too. Um, like I would say till this moment, because now that I've got an expert in front of me, till this moment, I saw what I would say timelines collapsing. Like I had the dream, it was as real as this, and I might not have known right away, but pretty quick after I knew that wasn't going to happen, and that's happened a few times. Would you say that that's like I'm experiencing, or we're experiencing something like that, that you are, but just very little uh, understanding it? Does that sound like how it goes for you?
And I'm not sure if I understand very good. I
Well,
was not focused on this. Can you
that's okay.
repeat that
Yeah, yeah,
question?
yeah. Well, it was probably me too. So it was probably me too. Well, what I was saying is, I've had lucid dreams, and I know other people have, and you come out of it going, "We've collapsed a timeline. I've collapsed this timeline." Like I've
Yeah.
had several. I've had several with Morgan, and I know those results were not going to happen, right? But I still didn't know what would happen. Where you, so you're able to go back and find out what happened. I don't. I've never done any. I've never tried anything like that.
Uh, no, I'm not. I have from timelines collapsing. I have no in direct confirmation in my dreams.
Right.
Uh, uh, it is also it depends on you have the stuff of timelines collapsing, and so it's pretty new to me. I
Okay.
It's possible, but I'm not sure of that.
Well,
But
I just thought
there are a
there.
few
Go
there
ahead.
are a few dreams in my past. I can say that are now. I can say now they are directly related to the situation which we are.
I couldn't hear anything. I don't know if it's his signal, her signal.
Yeah. Did you understand? Did it break up?
No, I didn't hear anything. Yeah,
Oh,
something happened, but it's been happening. It's been happening. I think our frequency on this show is getting really high or something. Like
yeah.
let's all like stabilize the field real quick. I just saw a kind of a correlation when you were saying that I'm not sure how you said it, but like if you wanted to know what was going to happen, you went back into your dream to find out what happened.
No,
And
no.
I just figured, no.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
that is. I went. I'm not going back in my dream. I go back in my dream journals. What I already have
Oh,
written. Uh,
okay.
and
I'm sorry. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that's no. It could. It can be, but I just have to check my records that I wrote down, and usually therein are answers that I asked for today. They were there already in my dreams before.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
but that
Wow.
dream, that I remember nothing of an image or a sound or anything. Just that very strong feeling, and I must say that was one of the most powerful feelings I had ever had, and that was a feeling of relief. And how I would describe that is, imagine you have escaped the Holocaust with 1 second to spare. That kind of relief had I. That's the only way I can explain that feeling, and that is the situation in which we are today, which it seems all doom and gloom, but it will change very quickly. That is a dream I had 30 years ago. But since then, I had many dreams that confirm the situation we are in. But I know many psychics, and so they can pinpoint a date and a time from then is going to happen, and that's not. I cannot be so precise, but I know there is a big change coming. I know that for real.
I believe you. Um, so would you say that well, you did say you had a dream 30 years ago and then you've had more confirmation through dreams since then,
Yeah.
right? Can you talk about what you saw, what your feel for it is? You mentioned that to this time, and then also maybe what will happen. And we certainly understand. I think it's a much better answer to say, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I've seen this for 30 years.
Yeah.
that that's yeah. Are you comfortable with going into that?
Yeah. That's okay for me.
Okay, thanks.
Uh, yeah. You mean the other dreams that I have? I had a few dreams, and they're not only telling me where we are going. They are also telling me that what we have to do, what I have to do to be
Right.
there, because I had one of my recent dreams was that I walked. I literally had a feeling that I walked into paradise, and I walked through a door, but it was only a frame, and I walked through that door, but the door gets stuck on my shoulder while while I was walking in paradise. And the message that I did get then was, let everything behind, let everything go, the judgment. And that was the framework that was sticking on my shoulder. That was the old stuff that I had to let go before I can enter. And that is what all of us are involved in, letting go the trauma and letting go the beliefs that kept us here.
Yeah.
In Set philosophy, it is all about belief. Actually, I'm beginning to think that the entire world and the way we see it is based on belief systems. Many of them that we have inherent of our parents, our grandparents, and from history, actually.
Yeah.
And
Well, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that's to this point. I mean, we're coming out of it now, but
Yeah.
History, education, everything. I mean, and I guess that's a pretty fantastic journey. But what you're talking about, a lot of people are coming into right now, particularly in the last few weeks with judgment. You can, people can feel the change. They can feel their judgment leaving, which, means more compassion. Was that dream pretty recent?
I could say so. A few months ago, I could check it, but then I have to
Yeah,
run
you must have
through.
you must have a big walk-in closet with all these 40 years of dream.
Yeah, I started with recording them in books, but then when we came into the age of the computer, I typed everything over on my computer.
Oh, that
And
was smart.
I have the records on but that's on my big computer. I got an online computer, and I got an offline computer. All my dream records and that kind of stuff, I leave it offline because it's private. I consider that.
Yeah, of course, of
And
course. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a, I don't know. But to me, that's like a living library, like a living Akashic record. I mean, the universe is going to get some use out of that.
yeah,
It's pretty amazing. I mean, a lot of people lived on the earth, but I don't think too many of them kept a dream record for 40 years, 30
And
or whatever.
sometimes I try to paint them if they are very significant, like this one you see behind me. Can you
Yes,
see it?
yes.
That's one of my dreams from a few years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. The two fishes swimming in the air and reaching very high. And I am a Pisces, so that was dream literally about me. And so I did like that very much, so I made a painting of it.
Wow.
So I do that to remind me of the significance of certain dreams that I had.
When's your birthday?
Next month, 18 March.
18. Yeah. I got a lot of Pisces in my life.
Yeah,
And it's Pisces season, as I understand it now.
yeah, yeah. We are
There's
at the end of it, if I'm correct, or are we already in Aquarius?
No, we're in Aquarius, but Pisces, I guess,
Yeah,
just aligned with
yeah.
Saturn or something for the next 3 years. And
Yeah,
so the
yeah.
Pisces, there was like
In the month of March.
yeah, I think as that came, well, I don't know. We'll have to ask Chanda Sparkles when she's on in a few days. I don't know how all that astrology works, but I think what I got from it was that the Pisces were receiving Saturn energy, which I think has to do with organization, has to do with a lot of things, and they would feel that impact coming in. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. That's not my. But yeah, this is really cool. So do you, like with what you've dreamed and what you understand, do you feel like that dream that where you went through the door and the door stuck to you and you went into like that Eden paradise?
Yeah.
Do you feel like the next time maybe that you get to that level of dream that you might be walking through that paradise without the door and that others will too?
Uh, well, I cannot confirm that exactly, but that's what I'm hoping for, and I think many people with me. But as as I understand it, it depends on the choices that we make, and you mentioned judgment. That's for me too. It's a very big thing, judging others, and
Yeah,
everyone from the highest to the lowest have issues with that. That
yeah,
that is a very big thing, but I I try to, and I think we can come there. But uh, if you ask me if I know for certain, uh, well, uh, how can I explain that? Uh, it is an absolute. Uh, it is a big challenge on this moment, but we can make that. All the big civilizations before us, many have gone under and had to restart. That's as far as I know from the information from Jane Roberts. She talks about that in Linked over the previous civilizations. There is always a critical point in every civilization where you choose, but where you go down or you go up. You have only two choices left, and that's the point where we are too.
hmm,
But it is also an individual choice. Uh, and yeah, m- uh, when I did follow many psychics the last years also, and they all made predictions from month and days, and I uh, I find that difficult, very difficult to do. Uh,
were any of them right?
what?
Were any
Yeah,
of the psychics correct?
yeah,
They were.
I- yeah, and many had predictions about Trump, and none of them came true actually.
Yeah. Well,
But
I like your method better. I like your method
that's
better.
a moment of great change that even they don't anymore.
In your dreams, can you hear me? Oh, he
Oops,
froze.
it
She
seems.
she froze.
Yeah.
Can you hear
Did
me?
you hear me?
No, it
Yeah,
cut
I
out
hear
again.
you.
Go ahead. Okay. Oh, there's a lag.
Okay. Yeah.
So, in your dreams,
Yeah.
are there like what kind of presences are there? Like galactic or elemental or natural spirits or natural disasters, or what kind of energy? You know what I mean? That because everybody seems, we were coming out of this phase where the disclosure was the big topic of people's focus and
Yeah.
consciousness, and now
Yeah.
people are starting to get done with it, and the going in, the collective awareness is expanding because more people are getting to know themselves. I have a feeling your dreams don't have those types of scenes, ETs, this and that.
Uh, Very, very little, actually.
Okay.
There are a few, and 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 they are almost all related to what I experienced later. I can give an example of I saw a UFO in my dream. I dreamed that I saw a UFO, and that UFO that looked like a scout ship from Stargate universe, the series of that. And few weeks later, I was on that moment I was still working, driving as a truck driver through Europe, and I saw what you can call a UFO, but today I would not call it a UFO. It was an orb of light. It flew just past me and uh, was very, very fast.
Wow.
And so the dream came before the experience in real life. Uh, I have it happens continuously by me, that kind of stuff. But it is always related to things that are important to me, and uh, lately I started to have uh, visions too. That is a very recent experience for me. So I sit in my chair and I relax and I close my eyes, and suddenly I see very, very clearly with my eyes closed a scene in which I'm I'm sitting in a piece of land, and everything around me is turning: the land, the animals, and the people, like a merry-go-round, and I'm in the center point of it. And that was a vision. That was not a dream. And I think it's also related with what we are experiencing now. But and the emotion was very astounded, very, very shocked by what I was seeing. But uh, the emotion was much stronger than I would judge the things that I was seeing. Do you understand?
The emotions were stronger, and then you cut out.
The emotion was stronger than no than I would normally judge that what I was seeing.
Okay, I got you.
And yeah,
What
and
was the what was the what was the emotion? Astoundedment. I mean,
yeah, shocked, being shocked. And
did
I
you?
had yeah, and I had recently also a dream with that I was walking like a drunken person, and people were watching me. Look that guy, and that has to do with the energy we are going through. Some of these energies, they will be so strong that you have to rebalance yourself. That's the way I interpret that dream today. That is you're very aware of the changes in energy, and so from day to day. That's not my focus. I'm less aware of that. The changes. I do always in if I look at it behind that, I was aware of it, but then on an unconscious level. Yeah, and it's not so conscious in my face as you experience that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had to say a few things about my youth. I did grow up as one of 7 brothers. We had a family, and I was number 6. My youngest brother is baptized by the bishop, and the king is godfather of him. So we, as a family, we always were proud of that. I mention it because some people say the number 7 is important. I don't know what to think about, but I'm number 6 of 7 boys in a family. So I was the screw up.
Just like the rest of us.
Yeah, there is always one. And what I wanted to say, at the age of 40, I had a experiment with a few experiments with drugs. I took 2 joints in my entire life, no more than that. 2 joints. The first one, I had a good laugh. I started laughing without reason, and the second one made me just sick. And I had an ayahuasca experience that was in a group gathering, and that was actually less for me, less than the joint that I smoked. But then, have you ever heard from a person who had a how do I ecstasy, feeling ecstasy by reading a book? Have you ever heard from that?
No.
I had in the past I read many books. I have a book here, Chronicles from the Future, from Paul Amadeus Dinac. It's a wonderful, it is an incredible story, and it's about the future. Where are we heading to? And when I was reading that book, I had feelings of a glow in my heart, and fire flushes of energy going through my body, days on end, not minutes, not hours, for days. As long as I was reading that book, I was simply just on fire. I never had experienced something like that, and I never heard of someone experiencing something like that.
Wow.
I tried to read it a second second time, but that that did not have the same effect.
I was going to say there's too much ecstasy and you couldn't continue.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that? Do you feel like that? You have a very high frequency, and that like reading the book, that you resonated with it as truth.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to.
It made me believe in a better future again. That's what the book did to me, and that was wow. I never felt something like that. They talk about walking on air. On that moment, I was walking on air for days on end. There is no drug that can do that. I was recently thinking about it, and I said that shows how important our belief systems are, because most of them are blocking that feeling, that feeling of happiness that should be natural to all of us.
Yeah.
And yeah, that book did a trick for me. Not even the set books, and I love the set books very much. I have them almost all. Not even they did that to me. Yeah. But you talked about lucid dreaming and out of body. I
Yes.
have yeah, do I say? I have an experience from childhood. I was under the age of 10, I think, or yeah. And my father was on that moment in clinic with tuberculosis. That in those days that was
Yeah.
a dangerous disease, because we were as children we were not allowed in the same room.
Right.
I was
That's right.
I was playing on the terrain of the clinic, and I was walking in circles, running in circles, and I saw my doppelganger, or at least that was what I thought at the moment. And I told that to my parents afterwards. I saw my doppelganger, someone who exactly looked like me. And years later, I started to remember that situation, because that was one of those situations. They always are in the back of your mind. And I thought, wait a minute, that doppelganger had the same haircut as me. He has the same clothes as me. I was out of my body. I conclude now. I was out of my body, fully awake and running around, and I was with the joy of the moment. I was out of my body. Many of those things happen when you feel good, when you feel okay, when you feel happy. Then these things happen very much quicker than otherwise. But I've never been able to repeat that kind of experience. I had out of body experience, and I had lucid dreams, but recently not so much anymore. And uh, my dreams themselves, they told me that my focus is has to be here and now. in real life more than in the dream, because I would use it as an escape to escape the the sometimes terrible reality we are. The way people treat each other, that I was very sensitive to it. At the moment, we had no language for it, but are you understand? Are you
Yes.
listening?
Yes.
Okay, you
Yes.
still hear me because
Yes.
okay. So I try to have lucid dreams, but I'm not very successful on this moment.
Okay.
Yeah,
But you have vivid dreams that you can recall.
yeah. I uh, there were moments in my life that I uh, remembered and recorded 3 or 4 dreams in one night. I remember them all, and I don't know why, but even if I had no recollection of dream in the morning when I woke up, I just uh, turn my eyes to look up, like to the sky, to the corner of my eye, and I just get my dreams out of it, even if I had no remembrance when I woke up. Uh, I'm not so good anymore on this moment to do that, but 20 years ago, I could do that easily.
So you've always been like this. I mean,
Yeah,
40 years of that. So did you go through, and I know because your energy is incredible. It's beautiful. You're just, like chill. Like I don't even know what to say. And I know that like all of us, you've had challenges, and you said you were like the rest of us, the black sheep in your family.
yeah.
How did you, so without being presumptuous, but that's kind of stupid to say. I know you've had your dark nights like we all have.
Yeah.
I think we can all admit that to each other now, but how did you find your power?
Well, uh, that is. I cannot say that it came in one night or one day. It was a struggle for 40 years. I had my. I always say I had many people are 40 or 50 when they get their midlife crisis. I was in everything very slow, but I had my midlife crisis at the age of 13. And I started to ask very much questions. And I started reading to get answers. And that's how I get to Jane Roberts' books. And one of the most early dreams that I had for that was a bookworm, and that worm that entered the book on the front of the book, and that ate itself, and it came out on top of the book and saw the blue sky. And that is literally what I have done in these 40 years. That dream is that you could say the effect of that dream is 40 years long. That's what I have done in 40 years. It was not a quick fix for me. I had uh, uh, I don't want to say that I was depressed, but I was surely very deep down for a long time, and I just the past 20 years maybe I have left that behind me for a very big piece, at least.
Yeah, as long as we're still walking, we still got work to do, right?
Yeah, something like that. And if you make one step and you go one step higher, it's not so that there are no more issues. Then you get
Right.
the same issues or different issues confronted with on a different level, and that's the way we grow.
Yeah. Is that what you think we're doing here when we get right down to it?
Yeah. Uh, but the fact that things are not going as quick as we want it to be is has more to do with us having difficulty letting go issues from the past. That's how I see it today.
Would you
So,
say that?
yeah.
Would you say that when it gets right down to it, what we don't want to let go of is judgment?
I yeah, I think that is the biggest part of it. We all have judgment. We all wear black robes and judge others. If as in the age of 20, when I was 20 years old, if my eyes could have killed people, there would none of us be here right now. I had so much judgment. I was so angry at the world.
Did you feel judged?
Uh, yeah, absolutely. But the strongest judge is myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was I was that too, and it's not easy to get rid of it because you have no good reason. That's how I feel sometimes. There is no good reason to do so, except if we want to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. I guess we could say there's a direct relationship between self-love, self-value, and um, judgment, or lessening judgment. So as the
Yeah.
judgment lessens, because
Yeah.
ultimately we're judging ourselves. So you just seem like your energy is. I mean, I'm not saying you're walking on water. I'm not putting you on a pedestal, but you're a very powerful soul, and I know that we all know that comes from going through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about yourself today? How do you because I just wonder, because like I just feel like that you're so calm and so real, and
Yeah.
just seems like you would have a good relationship with yourself that took a lot, like with all of
Yeah.
us, to get as we're trying to
It
get there.
was a heavy struggle. Absolutely.
Mm.
I have to come. I have come to peace with myself. Although I'm not happy with certain decisions that I have made in my life, I accept them as being me, just being me, and uh, there are. Uh, uh, I shot myself in the foot for so many years, and downplayed myself so long. Yeah, it's still not gone everything, but the biggest part of it, I could say, I left behind me, and I feel most of the time pretty happy with myself. Yeah,
Yeah, it's important. I mean,
yeah, yeah. That's one. That's one of the lessons by Jane by Seth
yeah,
that rang true to me. That is self love is a biological necessity. He calls it, because you literally destroy yourself otherwise, and uh, the most part of it I left behind me. Yeah, there
well,
are always things you want that could be better, but yeah, if they are not, then they are not. Then you have to uh, row with the spoons you have, huh?
roll with the punches.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, roll with the punches.
And we all got the what I have learned from the interviews that you give on YouTube with all those people, uh, uh, very remarkable people, I could say that is they all have the same struggle in their life. They many people are now in down depressed by the situation we are in, but many of the people like me and you, they have had that struggle years ago, and they are finished with it for the biggest part, and that's why they can help others now on this moment.
Yeah,
I had a few times that I had that same good feeling, glow in my chest, uh, from interviews you had, that I had seen from people on your show. Yeah, and
that's
that's also the reason why I look at shows like yours. Uh, Although I must say yours is very much unique in that. I look for other people who are uh, ahead of time, I must say, and they're gonna be the people who change the world, who are the pioneers, I have to say, for the change that is coming. Yeah.
what do you know of the change that's coming, even if it's just like from a, like a feeling or
Well, uh, if I have to say, it will be on a social level. The changes will be very big. They uh, changes will be that will take life, or I can even imagine them, and
okay,
they will. If I have to follow the story in the book here from Paul Amadeus Dinac, he says they're starting to count from the years from one again, because the change. And I believe that's a possibility. Yeah. That book, that gives, I truly believe that book gives us a glimpse into what is coming. And
Well, yeah, she was cutting out a lot. It's stopped now. It goes out and then it comes back. That time was a little bit long, but what she was saying was that this author said, and I look at this metaphorically, because whether it's literal or not, I don't know how any of that works, but it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
What you said, and that is that it's such a powerful change that collectively we just start counting the days from that point forward. That speaks a lot to to the type of thing that this seems to be headed towards.
Yeah.
That's to me, that's good intel. That feels,
that's pretty powerful. Yeah. And
because you're right. It could, it comes down to the individual, but it's going to happen anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's going to flip, or that what you that dream you had with the thing that was happening like a merry-go-round, and you were in the middle.
Yeah.
So in other words, we go through the gateway, either, I guess, I don't know. Do we go through? Is there a difference? So one side goes through in fear and one goes through in love, and it just kind of joins back up like a DNA, you know what I mean? Or is it more like is it more like the dream where you walk through the door into the paradise and the door stuck to your back?
That's where we are at the moment, I think. That's where we are at the moment. But it is. I'm not a medium. I do not. I find it very difficult to predict. But I know what Seth and Jane Roberts said. They said it's going to change. The world is going to change, and it's going to take a period of 75 years. That change.
When did it start?
In the 60s. In the 60s.
Thank the goddesses and gods above. So that puts us at 2040. Yeah, we've moved it up now, though.
It is almost finished.
Yeah.
That's
I believe that.
Yes.
And you heard a lot over the years, and they'd be like 2035 to 2070, that range, like Edgar Cayce and some of those other people. I believe we've moved it up. I'm not waiting. Do you in Belgium, are you able to communicate with people like this? Or do you run into people like us?
No. Until now, no. I would have loved to have created a group, but I would love to be. I would want to be a group where we meet in person. Online, I like it. It's okay. When I'm talking to you, otherwise I would never talk to you. America, how much I also like it, it's a bit far from me. So in this case, it's okay to have a conversation like this, but in if I can make something like a group with like-minded people in my area, I would do it meeting face to face. I would like that more, because then you can always get more out of it than just online. I would love to start such a group, but until now, I don't know so much people in my own neighborhood who are interested in this kind
Right.
of stuff. Maybe in the future, who knows?
So I know you don't make predictions in prophecy, but if you had to take a guess,
Yeah,
what do you said we've come a long way. We're almost there.
yeah,
2023 really feels different,
yeah.
even though it's been a few weeks or really 2 months. How do you feel about 2023? Where do you think we'll be January 1st?
Yeah. I have to rely on you for that. One of your previous people that you interviewed said about March being very important in this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Uh,
Several people, and my wife.
March is usually a month of change. Is the end of the winter and starting of the spring. So it's possible, but the the old system, I have to say, keeps such a powerful claim on many people that it and that there is nothing that appears to change, but when it collapses, it will be quick
Yeah,
and
I think so. Yeah,
powerful, because they hold themselves strong until the last second, until they go through their knees, so to speak.
well, you can see it in what they're presenting.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like gaslighting, but it's gotten to the point now where everyone's like going,
yeah.
and
Nobody believes it anymore.
yeah, it's like, and I remember Franco talking about that it would get so stupid that people would
Yeah,
just go, this isn't real.
yeah,
But to me, that tells me that that's all they got left, really. I mean,
yeah.
if they can't make something else happen, they're still doing what they're doing. It's obvious, and what they're presenting is so far out there. So to me, that would just go right through the whole thing. Like
Yeah,
like the banks being held up with nothing, and
yeah.
so many other different things. We were
And
talking about
also,
that. Go ahead.
also the support that I get becomes less and less, because they could not be there, or they could not do that if they
Right.
had not been supported by the majority of people.
Yeah.
Because if it's only them, it is a voice who is crying and nobody listens. It is because so many people saw advantage in it and go along with it, that they got where they are today. But they're losing support because also these people are discovering that it doesn't add up what they are doing.
Yeah.
And if they lose all the support, they are gone. They're history.
Yeah. Do you get scared?
That's been a long time ago. that I get
Sure.
scared.
Are you afraid of death?
No,
I know
not
you're not.
anymore.
I know you're
I
not.
was in the past, but I had a few very weird experience with, in which I left that kind of thing behind me. I don't. I'm not saying that I jump in front of a gun or so, but I'm not afraid anymore. I had. There are many people who have a death experience, near death experience, as they
Mhm.
say. I had never such a thing, but I had a dead person coming to me as a real life person, and that shocked me so hard that I was looking for answers if there is life, something like life behind death, yeah. And I asked that question to myself many times, and that was at the age of 40. I was only a few weeks living as a woman. I'm a transgender, uh, and I was going to the store, to the gas station. There was a bookstore on it, and you could buy cigarettes and something like that. And I come in that store, and I wanted to take a magazine, and there was a person in front of me, and immediately annoyed me because he was where I wanted to grab that magazine, and he looked at me and smiled, and and that I found very strange. And then when he was gone, I take my magazine, I take the stuff that I need, and I go to the counter. And that person was with his back to me, talking to the person behind the counter, and he wanted some cigars. And that's when things falling together with me. Bang, bang, bang. That was a memory that came back. The person who stood in front of me was a person that was 20 years ago. He was a colleague of me when I worked on the railroad in Brussels. He was a colleague of me. At at that time, I was 20 and he was almost 60. He was a heavy drinker, but a nice guy. I liked him a lot. And I had seen that person, not seen that person in 20 years. And that hit me like a hammer. And he has finished, and I go pay my stuff, the stuff I bought. And when I turn around, he was waiting at the door and keeping the door open for me. And at that moment, I recognized him as my old colleague, but I did not dare to confront him in the situation I was in. So I just smiled, and I get past him, and I come home. And at that moment, I was still living with my ex-partner. And I tell her the story, what happened, because she knew that person too. That person lived in her neighborhood. And she says, that's not possible that you have seen him, because he is dead. She knew that person, and she knew that person to be passed away. So
And it
5 minutes
and it
earlier,
had,
he stood in front of me, and that's when I came the full shock of my what I had. And then I had another very weird experience. I felt an idea, not in my head, but in my stomach. An idea. And that idea was, there will always be friends if you want them. Wow, that was a big one for me. And if I go back to that experience from that person, when I was 20 years old, he was almost at pension age, 60, 65.
Right.
And 20 years later, he was a heavy drinker. It makes sense that he had passed away. And wow, that
Did
was
you get
that was a shock
Did
to
you get?
my.
I'm sure. Yeah. Did you get the? Because you said that's right when you had this life change, and
Yeah.
do you feel like that he was kind of?
He was
Did you get a good?
the answer to the questions that I had in mind. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how the universe answers you. They don't say yes, there is life after that, because that means nothing, that word. But when you experience something like this, that is a big difference. That came in like a hammer, a sledgehammer to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Definitely. Sounds like he definitely was a soul that you're close to.
Yeah, yeah. It was a very nice guy, and when I was a young guy and his colleague, I very frequently, he asked me to get cigars for him, from a particular brand, and that cigars that they bought in that store were the same cigars, appendix 6, and that was bang, 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 bang. Then all the memories came back to me. That was that's very, very, very weird experience.
Yeah. You know, really anything's possible. It makes you wonder hearing that
Yeah,
story. It makes you wonder. It makes me wonder if that's going to be part of this change. We walk into stores and start seeing people that, you know what I mean, and the two worlds start coming together or
yeah,
something. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. It goes more fluid, like uh, as we have now. Yeah, yeah.
So, what would you like to see happen in your life from here forward?
Uh, that people are treating each other a little bit nicer. That's what I want to see. That's what makes me. That's what makes me happy. Uh, it doesn't feel good like people treat each other now, and it always has been a great frustration in my life. And we can do, if we come together and have some common goals, we can do anything. You have seen that with Apollo program. If people get together, they can achieve anything. That is amazing. That was a small, the Apollo program, what they achieved, those astronauts and that kind. But they were just the tip of the iceberg, because there were thousands and thousands of people who worked on that same program. And that is a small example of what we can achieve when we all go together, when we all pull together, nothing is impossible. Nothing. Yeah.
Well, we got to do this again. I don't mind. She's getting up at 4. She gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I never do shows this late unless it's a music or something. I'm up late, can't do anything. I haven't done that in ages, but I would do it again. I would, yeah. I mean, it's God, we could just go for hours. It's like, God, you said something at the end there. Oh, I just want to point out too. I mean, you know, and I asked you like, what would you like to see happen in your life, and you didn't even think. You didn't even blink. You just said, I'd like to see everybody get along better. That's the kind of feeling I know I had when I was a kid, and listening to a lot of people's stories over the years, they were the same way. It would come out of their mouth verbatim. You know, as a kid, why is it? It's not supposed to be this way. To hear an adult, you know, a beautiful soul that's had, you know, gone through the human condition and you know, gotten to this point, not even consider. Because I mean, if you'd asked me that, I'm a little embarrassed to say it now because, you know, it would be, and you know, it's okay. I mean, I would like to be with Morgan. I like to do this or whatever, but I think that's just a very profound answer, and because there's something about like your dream and that answer, the dream that you had where I forget what the actual interpretation was, but everything reversed. Oh, it reversed so quickly that we just started counting the days as day one. And then to me, that speaks to the energy of what you said. Because if everybody just said, hey, you know what? I'm picking me by picking everyone. So let's all get along or whatever. The energy of that by a mass of people, and maybe that's what we're doing, would be extraordinary. So, you know, whatever the potential achievements would be, I mean, that's the kind of stuff to me, like the energy shifting to that degree where you just start time all over again is the kind of stuff that speaks to instant healing, you coming out of your body and seeing your double, you know, crystalline bodies, people levitating. I mean, we're talking about, it's not just going to affect part of us and not the rest of us, right? And I like the way that you kind of explain everything, because you don't, it's very different. I never really, well, because I mean, first of all, who's recorded 40 years of dreams? That's amazing.
And the weird part is my dreams are always ahead of things. I started recording my dreams because of an old Indian book, and I read that those Indians worked with their dreams, and I start recording my dream, and afterwards I have that dream about that bookworm, and afterwards I go to a book fair in Antwerp, and I come back with a book of Jane Roberts, SOULSPEAKS, and then was the moment I start to realize how important dreams are, and that's what made me to go further with it. And my dreams always run ahead of the things that I'm gonna do, even if I'm not aware of the things that I'm gonna do.
Yeah, that's what you said at the beginning, and I kind of got I kind of misinterpreted it, but that part of it I got right, and I'm glad you repeated it. So, and that's what I was getting at, because you may not be aware of it, but you're basically dreaming what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I had asked the question about, in my own experience, I dreamed things about what was going to happen, but my soul knew once I, woke up and a couple of days go by, whatever, that was not going to happen. So there was a part of me that must have, in the dream state, been looking at what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, can you wait like 5 more minutes? I kept you. I've already got you an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If you had to, because I would say to me, you're a dream master, right? You're a dream goddess. You're a dream interpreter at a minimum. You're this is a very unique situation. So you have coding and information that I don't think any of us do. You know what I mean? But I have heard people talking about the increase in lucid dreams, and they're dreaming, after not dreaming for a long time, and it must be part of that bleeding in, like your friend in that store, right?
Yeah.
And so we're still trying to figure stuff out, some of us. If you had to give some advice to us on, even though we may not start journaling every night or whatever, I don't know, but just to remember our dreams, or to, you know what I mean? Like, do you said that you ask questions or something before you go to sleep, and you've probably done this obviously over many, many years, but how would you direct us to be able to see into our dreams and, get not the level that you have? I'm sure that would take a long time, but, start heading that direction.
The trick is always focus. You put attention to it. To repeat Jane Robertson said answer for it now, I have to say, dreams are a therapy that works your entire life. It works whether you remember your dreams or not. They always work, and they work your entire life, and you can speed up the process when you remember it, when you focus on it, when you learn from it. I still have many dreams. I immediately know what I mean, but there are still dreams that I have no clue what I mean. Because that is the challenge is continuous. There is always something to learn and to grow for yourself, no matter how far you go. But the focus on it, I had that very powerful focus when I was younger, and it's not continuous. There were moments in my life that I had daily, that I remember daily my dreams, even up to 3 and 4 dreams a night. Now I have sometimes once in a month remember a dream, but I got the feeling that is that's how I work with my dreams. I don't remember. I'm not gonna dream about what I'm gonna eat tomorrow, for example. That's not. I know what I'm gonna eat tomorrow. I eat something that I like, and that is not an issue for me. If it comes up in my dreams, it is important to me. That's how I work with my dreams. So now, in the last 10 years or so, I have very few dreams, but they are very to the point.
Right.
On the issues that I still want to work on, and but when you say I wanna remember my dream, that's already enough.
Right. And then then it, like if we say, I think that's probably what I do sometimes. I do remember some, but if I, go to bed and I'll say, let me remember my dream, or please, so the belief that you talked about at the beginning of the show isn't there.
No.
But being, and maybe that's the code, is as simple as that, is meeting somebody who has developed the access that you have, and you're displaying the code to us. And yeah, I want to know more about my dreams, and I'm glad that we had this talk. I hope we can do it again. You're just to wise, beautiful, amazing, real soul / human. You're as much human as you are soul, and that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So really, thank you.
I still there are still dreams who I did nothing with. There are, for example, I had dreams of meeting someone where I start to start a relation with, and that is a big issue. I know I'm the one who blocks that, and I know that, and that's what was that that experience where I felt in my stomach there will always be friends available if you want them. And
that's really cool.
The big issue is, do I really want them? Because I was in my early years, I was so disappointed in my fellow human beings that I did not want to talk to any one of them. And that's still a point to work on. Nobody is perfect.
If we were perfect, we wouldn't be here. I got that one today. I got that one today. Probably. I was like talking to myself, and it just came in like
we would not perfect, be here.
Yeah, I wanted to go do a meme.
If we would be perfect, as a different idea about it. If we would be perfect, there would be nothing left to do. So that's the ultimate death. The life is continuous growth and change, and the ultimate death would be perfect, but because the universe would stop being. True. Understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, because I mean, I'll flip it the other way.
Life is change, and but we have so difficulty, certainly me, to accept that.
Yeah. No. I think what you said is accurate, and the other side of it, I think the way that I kind of view it is, because a lot of people have called me a stubborn human, and I guess a stubborn soul. A stubborn human makes a stubborn soul, but I think we're all stubborn souls. That's why we came here, because we wouldn't give up.
Yeah.
But I forgot what we were talking about. I'm tired. This is late for me now.
Yeah. What time is it there?
God, we went an hour and a half. It's 10:30 here, but I've been trying to. I've got some melatonin. I'm changing my lifestyle, and I'm trying to, get, because Morgan's in Australia and it's 16 hours difference, and so try to catch a bigger block, and also really to get up early so I can catch her when she goes to bed, and also get up early when I'm not on the air, so I can get work done if I don't get it done during the, I can't do it, because during the day I'm usually doing this. Like, this is about, what do we had, about 4 hours of programming today?
Yeah.
I mean,
you're a very busy guy. I see.
Well, I think that for all of us, we've been very busy where it counts, doing the work on ourselves, and there's just a lot of beautiful people stepping up, and
Yeah.
I have a lot of I'm beyond optimistic, but I still know that, yeah, what you said at the beginning, it comes down to each person. And, I see that moment that you dreamt about, and day one starts, but
Yeah.
what happens between this side and that side of the line?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
We all. I'm just as curious,
Yeah.
but
Me too.
one day I did uh, a very weird checkup. My own attempt to make a prediction. I was
Okay.
walking on a road, and the with concrete slabs. They are all are sliced up to uh, to join in a road. And I was walking there, and I saw each of these slabs. It was numbered, and I got to number 58, and I came on the idea. Let's assume that this is my birthday, 1958. I took number 58 as number 1958, and I saw that road that makes a few turns, and I said, I'm going. I told myself I'm gonna take this as a way of predicting. I'm gonna count the slabs, follow the time, and see where the road goes. And when I came to the year 2000, on the year 2000, the road makes a turn, 90-degree turn, and that's where there were big changes. And when I come to slab 2022 till 24, the
Mm-hmm.
road splits. One way, one go this way, and one goes straight on. And
Jeez.
that from 22 to 24, that is the the time that it took to make this uh, split in a
So
different
we're
direction.
going on halfway. We're not even halfway yet.
Yeah,
But
we're
okay, so you
we're
said
half.
that you don't do predictions, but I got to tell you,
That's the only one that I
that's
did.
the best prediction I've ever heard, because you also told the story of how you came to it, which is a lot of us are getting in or coming into that type of thing again. It's another sharing of code, because we can get the answers in so many ways. That was
Yeah, yeah.
that yeah. All right.
Everything is mirrored in everything else, and that's why I did that. And I have a few experience, other experience like that, but that one I chose myself to view it that way.
Yeah.
You can even uh, read tea leaves if you're conscious enough and focused on that enough. You can read the future and the history of the world in it, but you must be very sensitive to it then, and be aware of it. And this is another way of but I only did it once, and there is a reason for that I did it once. And then you have to have faith in that, because every tarot reader will tell you you cannot lay the cards two times for the same question. And why is that? Because then you doubt the first answer
Mm-hmm.
that you did get.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you never can lay 2 times your cards for the same question.
That's
So
like
I
saying,
did it. Yeah, I did it once, and then you have to have faith that it also comes.
Right.
That's the other part.
It's a great point. That's just like what I was saying about going to bed and asking the universe to help me remember my dreams. But in my head, I'm going, you're probably not going to remember them. So, like, then talking to you, that's what I was saying. I was just making it a point as an example. Like, that's why I love doing the show, because this, to me, is the best code. Like, I'm getting code I don't know about. I'm getting code that I'm kind of conscious about. So I know, like, now in my consciousness, I can say there's somebody that's done this. It's as easy as I thought it was. I just didn't believe in it. So maybe I'll have a chance to remember them now, more than I have been. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. I would love to do this again later in the year if you're open to that. Thank you for coming in and sharing space and honoring us with your presence and setting a great example for all of us.
Thank you for having me here. And you're also a wonderful person. I keep up the good work, because I follow many of your online content, but I cannot follow them all because you are so busy. I have to. I must say, since I am retired, I had a habit of 23 hours YouTube watching every day, and that was a little bit too much. I had to slow down, because it is too much on that level, you know.
Well, yeah.
But I still like to see your shows.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
they are very good.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that.
For the work you're doing.
And thank you for what you're doing. And I hope to see you again soon. And thank you. It's been a real gift, a real blessing. Well, see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
you too.
I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah.
Good night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night.